In the twilight shadows of Bovey Tracey, where the ancient lanes of Dartmoor crisscross like the veins of the earth, the old crossroads at the edge of town held a darkness deeper than night. It was here, centuries ago, that a man, his name forgotten, but his despair unfading, took his own life, a sin so grave in the eyes of the church that he was denied hallowed ground. Instead, they buried him at the crossroads, his grave unmarked save for a rough-hewn stake driven through his heart to pin his restless spirit to the earth. But the stake could not hold him, and the tale of the white hare of Bovey Tracey began, a spectral chase that haunted the moors until a farmer's kindness brought it to an end. The man, in life, had been a weaver, skilled but solitary, his days spent at the loom while his nights were consumed by a sorrow none could name. Some whispered of a lost love, others of debts too heavy to bear, but all agreed his end came swiftly, a rope slung over a barn beam, found swinging in the dawn's pale light. The church declared him damned, and so he was interred at the crossroads under a moonless sky, the dirt packed hard by fearful hands. Yet the dead do not always rest easy, and Dartmoor's ancient spirits took notice. The whist hounds, spectral dogs of legend, black as coal with eyes like burning embers, claimed him for their hunt, transforming his soul into a white hare, doomed to flee their baying jaws until he could outwit their relentless pursuit. Each night, when the mists rolled thick over the moors, the hunt began. The white hare darted through bracken and gorse, its fur gleaming like frost under the stars, while the whist hounds gave chase, their howls a chilling chorus that turned the blood of shepherds to ice. The hare's only hope was to get behind the pack, an impossible task, for the hounds were swift and tireless, their spectral master driving them with a whip of shadow. Villagers in Bovey Tracey learned to bar their doors when the baying echoed close, for to cross the hunt meant madness, or worse. The white hare fled through the centuries, his spirit bound to the torment of the chase, his grave at the crossroads, a tether he could not break. It was in the autumn of 1765 that the hunt took a turn. John Hare, a farmer of stout heart and gentle ways, worked his fields near the crossroads, coaxing barley and turnips from the stubborn Dartmoor soil. He'd heard the tales of the white hare, warnings whispered by his grandmother at the hearth, but he'd never been one for superstition, his faith rooted in the earth rather than the beyond. One evening, as he guided his pony and cart home from market, the air grew sharp with an unnatural chill, and the distant howls of the whist hounds sent his beast snorting in fear. John tightened his grip on the reins, his eyes scanning the darkening moor, when a flash of white caught his gaze, a hare, small and trembling, its fur pale as moonlight, crouched beneath a gnarled hawthorn not 10 paces from the crossroads. The hounds' cries grew louder, their shadows flickering at the edge of vision. But John's heart stirred with pity rather than dread. The hare's eyes met his, human eyes, brimmed with a sorrow older than the hills, and John understood. "Poor soul," he muttered, dismounting swiftly. With the hound's howls closing in, he scooped the hare into his arms, its body quivering against his chest, and tucked it into the panniers slung across his pony's back. The woven baskets were heavy with unsold leeks and apples. But John piled straw over the hare, whispering, "Stay still, little one." He climbed back onto the cart and urged the pony forward, his jaw set as the whist hounds burst into view, monstrous shapes of smoke and flame, their jaws snapping at the air. The hounds circled the cart, their noses sniffing for the scent of their prey. But the straw and John's steady hand kept the hare hidden. For an agonizing hour he drove on, ignoring the beast's snarls and the spectral rider who loomed at the edge of the moor, his whip cracking like thunder. At last, the hunt faltered. The hounds, unable to find their quarry, turned tail and vanished into the night, their howls fading into the wind. John pulled the cart to a stop near his farmstead, his hands trembling as he lifted the straw from the panniers. The hare was gone, and in its place stood a man, or the ghost of one, tall and gaunt, clad in tattered linen, his eyes hollow but grateful. "You've saved me, farmer," the man said, his voice a whisper of dust and time. He knelt before John, placing a spectral hand on the ground. "For your kindness, your fields will yield gold where others find stone." Before John could reply, the man rose, his form shimmering like heat on the horizon, and vanished into the night air, leaving only the scent of damp earth and a faint glow where he'd stood. John Hare's crops did flourish that year, and for many after, his barley growing tall and his turnips the envy of Bovey Tracey. The tale of the white hare spread, softened by the farmer's deed, and though the whist hounds still prowled Dartmoor's nights, they hunted no hare at the crossroads again. The suicide's spirit, freed by compassion, had found its peace at last, leaving behind only a whisper of gratitude on the wind, a reminder that even the damned can be redeemed by a single act of mercy. Many thanks for treading this tale's dark path. If its chill gripped you, follow, subscribe, and comment below.